So, let's have a talk about EAFC, a game riddled with so many bugs, an absolute mess of a game. But what did we expect from EA? An actual finished product? Hell no. I've wanted to make a rant video on EAFC for a while now, as it's genuinely my worst FIFA experience that I've had in a very long time. But before we do get into the video, boys, do make sure to like and subscribe. I am trying to reach 2,500 subscribers by the end of this year, so it will be a nice little Christmas gift. Do make sure to like the video as well if you agree with my points, or dislike if you disagree. But enough of that, let's get into the video. Now, would it really be an EA game if the game didn't have any bugs in it? This isn't just to do with FIFA, but any of their games. Now, it seems like it's a feature of EA to just implement some outstanding glitch into the game that leaves you wondering, did I really just spend 60 quid on this shite? And the answer is yes. Yes, you did. We've all told ourselves, oh, I'm not going to buy the next FIFA, but we always end up somehow buying it anyways. As sadly, there just isn't any good football simulator games out there, to be honest. PES was the main competitor of EA until it just decided to off itself one day and make an absolute piece of shit game, which did leave us only with EAFC for the time being. However, I have heard that FIFA 25 is going to be a thing, so I'm hoping that it's an actual good game that can actually save us from EA's unfinished games, and god do I hope it's an actual good one. There are so many bugs and glitches in this game, ranging from barely noticeable to game breaking. Now, a bug that I've personally experienced is a tiny one, but it really just grinds my fucking gears whenever I see it, just because of how small it is. Like, why is it here? It should have been already fixed by this time. The glitch that I'm talking about is, I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but whenever I'm scrolling through the menu titles just randomly decide to fuck off out of thin air. Like, but why is this a thing? It's a really annoying bug for me personally, as I just want to know where the fuck I'm going through, what menu I'm in or whatever. Another bug that was also a pretty big one was the Trickster Plus glitch, where the ball would get stuck in a player's leg and they would just proceed to walk through your entire defense and score themselves into the back of the net. Now, this type of bug should just never be in a game like this. They have so many people working on this game and they proceed to let in these type of bugs, which are actually game breaking. That bug did cost a lot of people's weekend league runs to just completely vanish because of that stupid glitch. But that's just some of the bugs that I've personally experienced myself. EAFC wanted to go down the realistic pathway, making a game as real as possible, but the gameplay itself is the most unrealistic thing to exist. Players not making any runs, defenders forgetting that they're indeed actual defenders, red cards flying about the gaff for the smallest tackles, but your opponent can decide to just thundercunt your player across the fucking pitch and it is perfectly fine. The gameplay also being as slow as shit, which for me never really made sense why they went down the realistic path when the game has always been kinda arcadey. Because the last thing I want to do is just hop onto EAFC after a long day and play a fucking slow triangle passing simulator instead of slapping across to a 99 pace winger to score myself an easy goal. But the game just being a complete ball fest nowadays, ending usually in like a 1-0 win or a loss, which is just a big no-no from me personally. Now, of course, some people don't mind the gameplay and that's perfectly fine with me. I'm just letting you guys know my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with it and that is perfectly fine with me. I do think if you do enjoy slower gameplay, like PES used to be about, like, you could have just played that instead, because that game was known for more realistic gameplay than FIFA itself. Because when I played it, although slow, it was understandable why, because the game was centered around realism. So certain things would happen there and it would just make sense. When FIFA never made sense to me. I don't want to be passing around my midfield for the next 40 in-game minutes just to get one good through ball where my striker will still manage to absolutely shit himself and miss the goal. Now, I would talk about career mode, but as we all know, that is pretty much a lost cause at this point. They just added a few animations and thought that's fine, but we already know that EA doesn't really care about career mode as it just doesn't bring any money for them. That's why I just end up playing Football Manager instead. Now, to actually give props to EA for once, the evolutions has actually been a really good feature from EA. So, you know what? A round of applause for EA for that, as it actually allows the players to use some of their favorite players in game who might not be just good enough to be used, a chance to actually just play with them. As a United fan, I can actually evo all the youngsters that are in the game and actually make them kind of fun to use. So you know what? Props to EA for that. But of course, there's always a problem with all the features that they add, and they somehow managed to capitalize off the evolutions, and they of course found a way to capitalize off evolutions as well by adding prices to some of the evolutions, ranging from 150,000 to, I don't know, like 75,000, I believe it was, which for an average player, they're not going to want to drop 150,000 coins just to use Harry Maguire's evolution. Like, I don't want to be doing all that extra shit just to play with a player that I want to play with, as the evolutions don't even guarantee you a good card. You could just spend 150,000, play 40 games or whatever it is, and then guess what? The player ends up being absolutely outdated by the time you have him, and there you go, you got fucked by EA as always. Promos as well have been a bit, kind of like, I don't know, kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie. However, the Thunderstruck promo was actually an absolute banger. I actually had a lot of fun with that. The flashback SBCs that were dropping every 24 hours, that was actually really fun to do. But I still don't know why midway through the promo they decided to just completely stop that. I was actually enjoying the flashback SBCs, so I don't know why they did that. But except for that, it was a banging promo. But the rest of the promos though were pretty boring. Even this new radioactive promo, which is, I mean, it gives players that aren't that used a chance, I guess, but no one's still gonna be playing with them, let's be honest, man. No one wants them, except for Messi, I guess, but no one's gonna fucking pack Messi. I do also feel like EA is very out of touch with certain aspects of the game, as I do remember them having an objective for elite players to win 20 games just for a shitty gold pack. Now that's a complete slap to the face for the players that genuinely put a lot of time and effort into grinding the game. Personally, I would not be taking that type of shit. I mean, it even led some content creators to make ranting videos about EAFC. I remember around the Foot Market, I believe he made like a 40-minute rant video just because of that objective. So yeah, EA just don't understand anything about the community clearly. Now, I wanted to make this video for a while as I had a lot of things to say about the game and wanted to just get it off my chest. I didn't want it to be an overly long video, just getting my points across. Hopefully it's not too boring. If it is, I'm very sorry for that. No one has to agree with these points that I do make as well, so feel free to just leave your issues with the game in the comments or anything that I should have mentioned in the video, as I actually do want to hear the community's thoughts on what the problems are, or you could even leave what you like about the game itself. But that's gonna be it from me today, boys. If you did enjoy this type of video and you want me to do more of this like commentary style, I guess, type of video, do let me know by leaving a like on this video and by subscribing. Have a good day or night, and goodbye.